so Obi signed one-term presidency accord. This is actually really, really interesting. We'll get into it with our analyst this morning. 8 died, 9 missing in Jigawa, both tragedy. Those are the headlines from the Punch newspaper.
PFIPC scandal. Oh, sorry, from the Guardian newspaper. PFIPC scandal. This Bajabi Amila as House summons key agencies over lapses. Debt. Tinubu has not borrowed 80 trillion naira, Oyedele tells Senate.
All right, in the These Day newspaper, we're also going to get into the PFIPC scandal with our analyst this morning as we await him joining us. Oh, I didn't know I was muted.
Okay.
Okay. This Day newspaper, police detain 4 officers over extortion of ICPC chairman in Abuja. 2027 ex-IPAC chairman Kabir endorses Tinubu for 2nd term.
Moving on to the Daily Trust newspaper, El Rufai's doctor faces panel over alleged procurement of medical reports. No going back on FGC Kano land swap, federal government insists.
In the Vanguard newspaper, we have Benue, APIN partner to drive health insurance coverage, universal health care. Tinubu asks ECOWAS to present united voice against Afrophobic attacks. We were unable to touch this yesterday with our analyst Emmanuel because of the direction yesterday's Daily News Review went. But when I read the article, so it was Vice President Shatima who represented the president at the meeting, and it was like Ghana and Nigeria were the most badly hit by the xenophobic attacks or Afrophobic attacks at this point. We had Malawi, Botswana, Zimbabwe, trying to remember the remaining countries closer to South Africa, but Ghana and Nigeria got hit the most, as at yesterday over 1,400, I think, almost 1,500 basically, Nigerians have been repatriated back to Nigeria because of the extreme violence against your fellow African brothers and sisters. And to that point, I recall, I don't know what I was watching, but there was a particular person who posted a video of, I think, flooding in Lagos, one of our Eastern brothers, an Igbo guy on social media. And I was really appalled by the comments he was getting in the comment section, because they were saying, hey, go back to your state and do. And then I was like, if we are speaking to each other like this in our own little corner, waiting, like you don't really have a right to speak against South Africa, to say that they're being xenophobic or Afrophobic towards you, because you're doing it to your brothers and sisters. There's and tribalism, ethnic bias and tribalism in Nigeria. So somebody comes out, the rains have been crazy. The flooding that it has caused has damaged lives, has damaged properties. And some, I mean, if your property is damaged, which remain, like it has a great impact on you mentally. So somebody comes out to complain about the flooding, and your response to him is that, hey, go back to your state and tell the governor of your state to repair your state. What's different from you and the South African who's telling Nigerians to go back home? We need to really, really look inward. Before there's a scripture in the Bible that says that before you poke your hand inside your neighbor's eye, make sure you have removed the speck from your own eye before you move the log in your neighbor's eye. So we are so loud and big on calling out things done against us abroad, whether in South Africa, whether in America, whether in the West. Oh, there's racism. Oh, they don't like Nigerians, but you don't even like yourself. I cannot hear you, Nima. Nima, are you speaking? We cannot hear you. I cannot hear you, Nima, if you're speaking. What does it mean? Do you know what? Carry on. It might be me.
Moving on to the Premium Times, EFCC arraigns ex-Warri
Oh, I can hear you
refinery
now.
for money laundering. SSS vows to appeal life sentences on two terrorist commanders, 6 death penalty. Moving on to the Nation newspaper, security forces down on criminals in Abu. Federal government dismisses on Borno school attack. Moving on to the cable newspaper, DSS to appeal life sentences for Ansaru commanders, 6 death penalty. Lightning kills 6 children working on Granite Farm in Adamawa. Our thoughts and condolences of those children. Moving on to the Daily Post newspaper, you are afraid because by 12 noon you will be defeated. ADC tells Tinubu government over Malami. Tinubu appoints Fayose, 25 others into federal government agency. Well, anyway. Moving on to the Tribune newspaper, Peter Obi signed 4-year presidency deal with me. Kwankwaso says FG commissions renovated digital e-library at FGC Kano Federal Government College. Yes. Finally, from the pen pushing newspaper, I lobbied officials at the budget office to facilitate inclusion of controversial agencies provision in 2026 budget, says embattled Director General. Policemen extort independent corrupt practices offences commission, collects 53,000 naira through POS. That's that's all we have for the headlines this morning. Fumi, can you hear me?
I was hearing you since, but I don't think you could hear me.
Yes, I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Again, we are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us go via our website, www.wfm917.com. Also, our phone lines will be open shortly, 07000 917 917, 08155 09155, beg your pardon, 917 0800 1235917. And then you can text WhatsApp us or send your voice notes to 08155 917 917 or 0703 1756 537. All right, let's bring in our analyst for this morning. Good morning, Adiola Adeyemi. How are you?
Good morning for me and good morning, Lima. It's good to be here this morning and good morning to all our listeners around the world.
It is good to have you. How's your week been?
Well, we give glory to God, at least for everything we do. It's all by His grace.
Yes. And congratulations. Should I say congratulations to the two lawyers on the on the election of your new president? There's been conflicting, what would I call it? Oh, was she the first? Because what I've read so far is that she is the first elected, but she's the second president because the the other lady, I can't remember her name, the former president was not elected. Maybe you can share more light on it because as a lawyer that you are, you are confusing, right?
What happened is that the other one was not elected, but this one, she's been elected as the NBA president. So that's what it's all about. But all thanks to God that, the whole thing went well. Although there are controversies here and there.
Yeah.
In every election, you always have those who will not be comfortable with the outcome of the results. So, but as it is, we move on. That's just the truth about it. We move on.
What I find interesting about the newly elected president, that Oyinkosala Badejo Okusoya, is that she used to be a confectioner, I think a baker. That's what it is. She was in the food industry, then went back to school 10 years after after, and then boom, 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 boom. I was so inspired when I read, her story. And this goes to every single woman out there who thinks that, look, nothing remains for me. Oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm waiting for my children to grow up. That's okay. When they've gotten to a certain age that you feel like, you know what, I want to now return, you can go back to school. I think last week as well, we congratulated Bishop Funke Adejumo, who went back to school about 4 years ago and has graduated from law from the university. So I could law school for her like this. And like all these stories just tell us that it's not too late to go back and start again. If you want to pivot, if you're on a particular career path and you want to pivot, you can always pivot. Nobody is going to stop you. I think that the greatest person that can stop you is actually you. So if you're ready to change your direction, go ahead and do so. We've given you 2 examples of women who were on different paths and have changed and are doing extremely well, in the fields that they are in. Look at this woman who was a confectioner. I'm not sure that she ever foresaw herself being the president of the NBA. There's no how, except maybe she wrote it in her vision board, but that's not a trajectory that you just foresee for yourself, being that you're just returning back to school. So yes, congratulations to her. We're all about women, so big congratulations to her. And if you're a man and you want to be good, you can always do that as well. Okay, let's get into it. I've told myself that I don't want to talk about this PFIPC scandal again, but every day, something comes up. The latest one we have seen so far is how, is finding out that the CBN opened domiciliary accounts for the Phantom Agency. Now, if you recall, I can't remember who it was. I'm trying to look for it in this article, had said that the CBN did not open, the Attorney General, I think, and the Minister of Finance had said that, they didn't open accounts, for this Phantom Agency. But from all that we're seeing that they actually did open an account for this agency. That's number one. 2 accounts. They said a dollar account and a pound account. Yes, it wasn't activated. No money was put into it. But how was it able to fly? The central bank had said they opened 2 foreign accounts for this PFIPC. The chief of staff to the president also appeared at the ICPC. If you recall, the president had ordered the ICPC to get on top of these investigations, and we're just seeing that different things are happening. I think yesterday we did read that the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, was set as chair for the probe about this Phantom Agency, and every day we're just seeing different things. Imagine that the central bank says that they received a mandate to authorize these 2 accounts from the Office of the Accountant General, and everybody still keeps claiming that they didn't see, they didn't hear, they didn't whatever it is that they did. And for me, it's just very, very worrisome. The head of the civil service of the Federation, Didi Walston Jack, said her office never allocated any space to the PFIPC. However, the PFIPC was sat there. She said it was supposed to be given, the office was allocated to the office of the secretary to the government of the Federation, right? So were allocated to the office of the secretary to the government of, that's the SGF basically. How come this fictitious agency, how come this Phantom Agency set up shop right there on the 2nd floor? Well, I read some other articles where she said that actually they didn't do their due diligence to verify, and I was like, that is such a weak argument to come up with, because in setting up these offices, they also, I think if you recall, we talked about they have employees of about over 300 employees. So what was going on when all of these were happening? You're not the one that approved of the seats of the office. You're not the one that approved of the recruitment, but people were recruited. An office was given to this same Phantom Agency. Like I said last week, it seems like the more you look, the less you see. But Jabi Amela, the chief of staff, was also he went to the ICPC, on based off of their investigation. He says, I didn't do any of the things that I'm being accused of, right? However, the culprit, I will call the person at the center of all this, Adeni, says he gave the chief of staff 400 million naira. Like, it just, all these Mondays are just flying. First of all, is what is stressing me out. Number one. So he obviously last week we saw that he he served Adeni with a 10 billion naira lawsuit where you have defamed me, damages, kiniko. Like, again, the more you look, the less you see. Because if the Odindi CBN is opened accounts for this fictitious agency, this ghost agency, what it can't remain for anybody. I don't know, but yeah, we'll let you go ahead, Adeyemi.
Thank you very much, Fumi. Talking about this saga, I call it as it is.
It's a saga.
You must understand that there are ways by which government does their thing, the bureaucracy and the process. And don't forget that the Accountant General said, normally what they receive is a mandate. The moment that's what the CBN staff said, that when they receive a mandate, then they will be, they have to comply to open these domiciliary accounts. And that's what prompted them opening the dollar account and the pound sterling account. But, he went further to say that, though, yes, they opened the account, but the account are docile, that they are zero account as it is, because nobody came, to show forth as as the authorization person who will sign, who will collect, who will do acting, who will conduct the activities on the account. Having said that, this whole thing shows you that there are so many loopholes in the system.
Yeah.
And this is just what we have been able to see. We have seen one. If you have to go back to the inception of democracy from yesteryears to date, you will see that we'll find a whole lot of, don't let me use that word this morning. I don't want to use the word that will not, it's not.
Please, we're on radio.
It's not allowed. It's not allowed. The truth of the matter is that, you see, it has shown that the politicians, they are corrupt. That's the honest truth. And the government officials too, they're all corrupt. The state that we find ourselves today in Nigeria has to do with the corrupt nature of the so-called civil servants and the politicians. I tell you, way back there, when the military were in power, we heard it that was said by these military personnel that is the civil servant that were introducing them, exposing them to loopholes in the system. And that's to show you that, you see, if we are actually going to get it right, it is not only the politicians we are going to deal with. The civil servants are the major problem. They are our major problem. That's why even as it is today, if you go to any offices in the civil service, you want to do anything, you can't go through without putting something down.
Yeah.
That's who they are. That's who they are. That's the problem we have. And don't forget that most of these people, those politicians, one way or the other, they've been in the civil service in this country. And they continue, to perpetuate their art. They continue to show forth as they normally do. So talking about this Adeyemi of a thing, honestly, it is shameful that this is where we find ourselves as a country, where some element, whether we like it or not, all the offices that has been mentioned are complicit. That's the honest truth. There is no way that there will be an office. I don't call, you see, when you people say fictitious, it's not fictitious. This is not real. The best word for it is fraudulent. Don't use the word fictitious, because it existed. It actually existed. There's somebody said they are the organ of a government that are saddled with this responsibility, and they are working. And you said that's not fictitious. That's a fraudulent corporation that was being established by the people in government. Let's be honest with ourselves. There is no way. There is no way, Adeyemi, we have that office there. And these so-called government officials, these so-called ministers, these so-called Accountant General, the secretary to the state, to the federal government, and all of them don't know anything about it. No, I don't believe it. Even by Jabi Amila. You see, what we want is that everybody, though the House of Rep has, invited most of them, to show, at the hearing, because every office, every person that has been mentioned must be called to be interrogated. You must come and say your own. We are saying it. The other day we were talking about Yalakara and everything. That why do we? You see, I got to a point sometimes a few days ago. I became bitter. And we need to be honest with ourselves in this country. The politicians, they are corrupt. Honestly, they are corrupt.
That's
the politicians, irrespective of the party they are corrupt. We cannot continue in this state that we have. People are actually suffering. I watched one woman on this guy's channel. Agbala Daniel, Agbala Gabriel. This woman who sells she hawks rice and beans, and she's managing this. Don't let me use the word stable. What's the best word to use for a challenged child and also a husband?
Okay, special needs
Child and a husband who suffer stroke. And can you imagine? We have these governments that are there. They are not doing anything about anybody other than for them to continue to go away with billions, as if we don't exist. The people of Nigeria don't exist. So my take this morning, it's not about Adeyemi. It's not. It's about the system we find ourselves.
True.
It's about the people that are managing the affairs of this nation. And it's about us, the people, because we are too complacent, because we are too docile, because we don't fight for our right. We don't stand up against these people. Who are they? Just a few of them. And yet, all that belongs to us, they are taking it away from us and they are showing it to our face. You imagine somebody will be displaying exotic cars and will be telling you all sort of men, and at the end of the day, we'll be praising him. He will now come and say he's fighting for who? Who is he fighting for? Who are they fighting for? For crying out loud. We saw one of the candidates as well, presidential candidate, who is also challenging the present government on some money issue. And when they were there, we know that it's meant to answer certain cases there, but yet I don't know why. If maybe I don't understand who we are as a people. Honestly, sometimes it's confusing because I wonder if I'm being found one thing, and I will have the effrontery, and I have that God to come into the open and criticize somebody who did the same thing who is doing the same thing I did, and I will be so arrogant and open and say, no, please. It is because we celebrate them. It is because we don't castigate them. It is because they are exactly about the state of the office of. I don't know anything that is sacred about it too. We must be honest that there is nothing sacred about that office. The moment but the individual wanting, that individual needs to be dealt with. Please, we still need to, until we are able to prosecute every president, every head of state that has ruled this nation until they are all investigated. And if they are found wanting prosecuted, that is when anyone that is incoming will know that it is no longer a joke. That this country, they mean business. These people, they have to leave. We cannot just be merely existing. The people have to leave. That's the honest truth. So this case of Adeyemi is just minor. It's one you have seen out of the thousands.
Yeah.
That is out there.
Yeah.
It's just only one you have seen. It's only one you have heard of. Now you are talking about a government that is trying to even be accountable. What about the government, the past government that were not accountable? You know, all the things that have gone by that you and I. That's the truth. A lot have happened. That is why you see that even the so-called Obas and Emirs, all their hands are stained because these are the people that are enjoying the largesse of this nation. We've had how they are being given allocation, oil allocation, monthly. So, and you and I, we said, is our commonwealth, and we are suffering. There is nothing we are enjoying. We are the local government of ourselves. Now, there's no electricity. You have to buy inverter, solar, everything, just to power your house. And at the same time, you have a generator by the side. When the weather is not good, when there is no solar up there to power your solar, come on. And you are the same person that will dig a borehole in your house to provide water for yourself, with water treatment and everything. To make sure that you have a good potable water.
That sounds about right.
Do you understand? And at the same time, in your environment, thank God that the present government are even trying with the road infrastructure that is ongoing. Because I will tell you before now, when you travel on certain roads, before then, when I want to travel, I have to think. I will travel abstractly on the road before I even go on the road. I will have gone from Lagos to Ibadan, looking at how the road is. If I have to go through Ijebu, I have to travel, emotionally, psychologically on that road. So that I will now be putting it 1 and 2 years. I hope on this area, by this time, there should be police on the road. That place that is bad. How is it now? We can't continue this way. We cannot continue. So as it is, let's go back to Adeyemi's case. Everybody that has been mentioned, please, if they are using the office that they said they don't want to appear, then Nigerians should stand up. We must stand up. That's the honest truth. It is time for us not to take anything with levity anymore. It is time for us to stand up to these people. This is our country. We have to save it, irrespective. We should not be bothered about who is in the office. What we should be bothered with, it is what we have been done, is being doled out to us, what we are getting. I thought those words they used to use, they say dividend of democracy. That's nonsense. What's dividend of democracy? It is my right. It is your right to enjoy the best of this nation as a country and as a citizen. So I don't see when the Obasanjo started it, when they come and give you school in your environment, they'll say dividend of democracy. Are they all right? Are they all right? What's dividend? This is our inheritance. Our inheritance. So will somebody tell me that my inheritance is a dividend? No. That's the truth. God will help us.
You've touched on so many places today, and I really like how you got to the point that where you were talking about the presidency and how you demarcated. You struck a, what do you call it? The office of the presidency or the office of the governor or whatever office you occupy is different from the individuals that are there. If the individuals that are there are are guilty of corruption, of any crime, then they should face the full wrath of the law. But the office of, but I want to understand what you meant by, oh, the office, that you don't understand how the office, is it the presidency is not sacred, or the president is not sacred, you said. I can't remember how you said it. And I just had a good smile, because there's been times on this show where people think that you are, is it you, that you favor, the presidency. So when you said it, I was like, I hope everybody will leave Adeyemi in peace now, because this morning he's dragging everybody. You want to say something?
Well, what happened is that, you see, when it comes to people see me supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, my own stand is this: I'm not supporting him as a person, but the policy and what he's doing. I just want to be objective, and that's the honest truth. I have said this several times. Until we are being truthful to ourselves, until we are being objective with issues, that is when we'll be able to see things in the true light that we ought to see it, rather than being biased. That's the truth. That's just my own position. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whether we like it or not, as it is today, with all the restructuring and that is doing one way or the other, whether you like it or not, is restructuring Nigeria. It may not be too obvious to all, but I tell you, the policies being put in place, when you sit down and look at it critically and holistically, you will find out that this man is actually heading towards restructuring. And that is exactly what is happening. And when you look at all that he has done, the road, you see, when we talk about development, the first thing that brings development in any environment is road. Road. Even when you look at your area, if your road is not good, you will see that the rent in your area will be low. The moment that road is constructed, you don't enter and be that too. You just see landlord hike the rent. Bam! From from let me say 250. You just say, I say don't become 500. Why? Because of road infrastructure. So now this man is putting all this together, and Nigeria, whether we like it or not, like I said, road construction is ongoing in Nigeria. We must be honest with ourselves. I am of that opinion, and I'm of that school of thought that believes in saying things the way they are. I don't say because I don't like you. When you are doing something good, I will not say it. I will tell you, I will commend you. That is where, you see, when you say things like that, and the person sees you as an opposition, and he sees that, okay, you are actually commending, he wants to do more. But when you are criticizing, when he's even doing good, then what you are telling him is to stop that good that he's doing. And when he's now doing the bad, will you be enjoying it? You will not enjoy it. So why not say, look, this man, yes, times are hard. Things are not the way we all expected. But you see, whether we like it or not, it's like a father in the house. What the children and the wife, what they need, the man may not be providing everything at the same time. But you will know that, our father is trying. Our father is trying. In the course of time, we will get there. You will continue to manage with the father. You don't say because the man is not giving you pizza, but he's providing you a ban on Ila now.
I want pizza.
You will not say he's not trying. No, you see, we need to say things so that we will be able to tell the truth to those who are not opportune to have the information that you and I we are having. There are so many, you see, what we say, we call ourselves the educated ones. That is what those that we call the illiterate, they listen to. It is what we say they listen to. So by the time we are decimating false lies to them, then you want them to hold on to lie, and at the end of the day, that's what they will live with. But that is why I said, I want to be objective. I want to say things the way they are. And there is nobody that can, persuade me, or that can push me, that can, make me to say, no, this is not the way it is. The way things are going. You see, this country that we are today, nobody today is spoiled. Nobody today is spoiled.
That's a good point, yes. I think we forget. We forget
The
a
thing
lot.
got spoiled long ago.
Yeah.
And if somebody is coming in to repair, we must understand everything cannot be repaired all at the same time.
Mhm.
And the only way to put things in place is through policies. The government will not do everything, but the policies will create an enabling environment for everything to take shape. That is what is called government.
All right.
God will help us.
Okay. All right. This is the Women Reading 91.7 FM. It's 8 minutes after 8 this morning on Women Reading 91.7 FM. You've been listening to the voice of our analyst Adeolu Adeyemi on the Daily News Review program this morning. I was going to go to the second one. I think that since we're still on the matter of monies that are unexplained and unaccounted for, this one is from the Tribune newspaper. Article 6 probe into unexplained 12.8 trillion naira in the 2026 budget. I think my question really, Adeyemi, is that is there nobody that does an audit of what is in the budget? Or is this padding, is this corruption at its finest? I know that article is doing the job of the opposition, so I'm not even really going to
call.
Okay, we have a call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Evangelist Dixon.
Good morning, Madam Fumi. Emmanuel, the son. Good morning. God bless you all. And I thank God this one. I say Alhamdulillah. And I say Assalamu alaikum to all of you there. Because any day I sleep and wake up, I appreciate God. Yes, not everyone has opportunity this morning. Many have gone this morning. And I know I will lead you to one day. And Bible, Quran, said that. That's why I'm not worried about whatever anybody does. Remember, one day, everything comes. But this morning, I felt somehow, I didn't go place, I've been listening to all you are saying. Some people come on board. If you already hit somebody, there's something that person will do that you like. And I like the way name answer question. Last Friday, I listened to the way he answered. Nigerians, we should not blame for that. Here in Nigeria, I say, all you that are there. Do you know that in some areas, some people cannot give Yoruba people house to rent. Some Yoruba people cannot give people house to rent. It's happening. Some Muslims cannot give Christian house to rent. Some Christians cannot give Muslims. And that people are not preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Because every soul matter when it comes to Jesus Christ. God is fine, Quran. And many don't. That's why I also have that I have Quran. Because every soul matter when it comes to God. And the gospel of Jesus is for everybody. Who will turn away from his wickedness and accept that Jesus Christ God is that God has given to us who come to wipe away our sins. Where I was not happy this morning, even to the essence I made mistakes, even when I was cooking, my heart was on. This is what commander that these three people have been, this rule that kidnapped this one in the battle, ask them to release for them. Did you believe that it's life sentence they give to them? This man, I don't know how I said. In fact, the lawyer that has come for this man, the judge that gave them the job, should be arrested. And this one should be sentenced to death. Do you know how many people they have killed? Yes. In fact, I pray God, I cannot say I'm angry because anger is the weapon in the hands of God. But I was so happy. These people that have killed, and that's what this is that the question that so that they will release those who really and see how they treat those who really. Our military and police, many of them because of this. And when you put them in the prison tomorrow, the people will go and release them. So that's in the government too. I'm going to expose all of them. Let me appreciate what Tinubu has been doing in this state police and the relation of power. And you can see now, you are getting, they are now, they are charging them now fast. And we are getting results. When somebody do that, right, again, let's comment him. And because this, for the fact that I've known this man when he was governor of the day, and I know him personally, the establishment we are working in Kogi, because it's opposite his house. I know this man, and that's the reason why I did it. And anybody can change. That's my pastor now. I've assessed myself. You know what I'm telling you? And I believe that Nigeria was not like this. Nigeria will be great once again. If we should learn to do that. So this year I want all the opposition to come out now and say this is what that's the opposition. Let your criticism be constructive criticism. And you journalists, do investigative journalism. We should know the reason why these people should be. Tomorrow they will release them and they go back killing our people. So I'm not happy with this one. So Obi and Pankwaso is now remember because just want to write on Obi to the president. But it's only Obi you can say that wants to tell to that we say that have clean record. People like is this I think it's supposed to tell you. This past president that you say again, many of them should be in prison now. The people that put until let me say president that keep on judging. So when Tinubu lives there also, he also will come and give account. That's when we know that Nigeria is sitting right. So I'm looking into that. And the judges and these lawyers and the God, I know there are some different like people like my friend Barry Subani who I set example. They have a Barney Foundation, go to they have done a lot of things. If that person come at any time today, I can vote for him. And when it was the NBA, go there and check it out. Nobody can ask us. But when somebody is left commending, and some of us are graduating from me, some of us here today, we are going to be what? At the point one of the points from them, how many of us in our little place are doing things? Many are living better alone. God is good. Nigeria will be great again. What the devil like enough. God bless, and let's learn to do the right thing. Thank you. Sorry for taking your time.
Thank you so much, Evangelist Dixon. Ademi, back to, I was asking, I said, is it that we don't have anybody who's auditing all this?
We have a voice note and some messages.
Give me a second. Now, is it because we don't have anybody who's auditing these messages or auditing this budget? Because how are we having unexplained trillion nairas in the budget?
Oh, well, not that we don't have, and don't forget that is one of the functions of the National Assembly. Don't forget that, when they always bring their budget to them to see, and not just to assent to it, but to criticize it, to look at it holistically, and be able to scrutinize, to know which and what exactly are these funds are going to be used for, and what are they, they'll be able to achieve at the end of the day. But the truth, like we all know, everybody, the national cake, they want to eat. That's the problem. Everybody wants to eat. That's why they are not doing the needful. Everybody, because all of them are ambitious. All of them are saving for the years they will not see on the land of the living. All of them are saving for those children that they don't know whether God will even bring at all, or even who they will become at the end of the day. Whether they will be prodigal son, whether they will be scallywag, whether they will be prudent, whatever the God will make them to be. Because you see, whether they like it or not, they will pay for it. Every one of them will pay for it. If they don't pay here, they will pay in heaven. But before then, it is you and I that we have to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
Because it is you and I that are suffering. It is you and I that are the receiving end. So instead of us to continue to be at the receiving end, not to enjoy that which God has created for us to enjoy as a nation, as a people, then we need to stand up to them. That's the honest truth. There, you see, and don't forget that, after the budget being expended in the course of the year, they still revert to the office of the Accountant General, Auditor General, to look at it, how everything were being spent, what was left, all this stuff. But all that, they are in the government. All of them, they want to job. That's the problem. Until we are able to hold them accountable, until the law of this nation becomes a bulldog that bites, not just the one that barks. All you see now is barking. The bulldog will go and sleep out at the end of the day. That's the problem. Until the bulldog become proactive and bite anybody found wanting, that is when we can move forward. And this nation cannot move forward this way. Now they said capital punishment for bandits and terrorists. Let there be capital punishment for corrupt office holders, for corrupt civil servants. You will see, we will get a better nation because they don't want to die. Their wife and their children will tell them, Baba, you are going there, I beg. We don't want to be orphaned. I don't want to be a widow. That's what they will say. But as it is, because that is not what is happening. That's why they believe you. At the end of the day, you said plead bargain. Somebody stole 10 trillion. You now said plead bargain. Bring 500 billion. Are we crazy? Who are we? What kind of people are we? So tell me, how would that person, the next person who is going to occupy that office, not do the same thing? Knowing fully whether at the end of the day, it will be a plea bargain. You understand? And you go away with the big chunk. You just give the country little again because they are all your cronies, because they are all your friends. No, we have to stop that. This is about Nigeria. And not just Nigeria, it's about the citizens of this great nation, Nigeria. We cannot continue to go out there and we say, Japa, it's an insult that Nigerians who are the first species on the land of the living to be the one going to enslave in other man's land, those who are meant to be the one shining our shoes. No. God bless Nigeria with everything you can think of on the earth as it is when it comes to natural resources. And outside the natural resources, human resources, we are number one in the world. So what's our problem? So it is us ourselves. We have to take our orientation.
We have another call, Adevi.
Good morning, Francis.
I want to congratulate Nigeria. They are putting like all their opportunities in because no time and the is around. And the government might think this to
For me, can you hear him well?
Kind of. He's not loud enough.
Hello.
Okay, I can hear him. I can hear him. Yes.
Yes, I said I want to thank you for the way you did this morning.
Okay.
I'm looking at as long as possible they have. You don't think that the lawyer said. Now, having said that, thank you for doing that to restate this matter. I'm telling you, what the second minister, the all of them are involved. Letting Nigerians, those people that think and go ahead to open that account and they understand. Let them bring them to book. And one thing, like I said, unfortunate for things. And nobody that can do that because it's going to remember the woman in the who committed this adultery. And when they brought back people, any of them committed killing. Let him first all of them, they need to disappear all the line. All of that, anything true. Even the government to discover that from everything. Including and this credit. Thank you.
I'm not sure that he's still speaking.
Yes, he has got the call.
Okay, can you give us an overview of what he was saying? Because it was cutting on.
I couldn't hear him well. Also, that was why I asked if you had.
Initially, it was clear, but I think he was thanking Adeyemi for all that he was saying. The remaining was what was a bit tricky. Okay, the messages and voice notes now.
Good morning, WFM. Mike from Ogun here. I was surprised to hear Adeyemi this morning, and I had to rush to the WFM YouTube page to confirm that it is actually him. If only Adeyemi would consistently speak truth to power, appearing to favor the APC, listeners wouldn't have so many issues with him. Adeyemi, please note that we have to stay alive to use the roads being constructed. What has the president said about reports that an order was given to soldiers to withdraw from a school before a kidnapping took place? Another incident happened last week when soldiers claimed they had no fuel to respond to a kidnapping attack, yet after the attack and the killings, fuel suddenly became available. Why is the federal government building houses for judges and allegedly allocating land to officials? Aren't teachers, doctors, engineers, and other public servants also deserving of homes? Or is it because they cannot rig elections? This government is bad and we must vote them out. Ayo Lushoga from Budunlai Ikorodu says, corruption is bleeding this country to death. A country where those given opportunity to serve loot and steal without consideration for the masses. All this wealth and prosperity that our leaders are accumulating, will they carry them to the grave? It's just but a day. Additional Wasil from Ikorodu says, good morning to you in the studio. Peter Obi has an agreement with Kwazo to be president for 1 term. This is an agreement that Peter Obi can't honor, but does out of desperation rather. It is on record that Peter Obi swore for late Ojukwu that he will not leave APGA. But today we all know Peter Obi has become a nomadic politician, moving from a party to another. It's very clear that Peter Obi can skip this agreement, and for the police demanding and collecting bribe from ICPC chairman in Abuja, that is the way of life of our police officials here in Nigeria. Once a police officer puts on his clothes in Nigeria, I'm not with additional Awasi on this. It is like he has opened a shop for business. Police is the most corrupt organization in Nigeria, and followed by SON. Additional Awasi, it's only you who said this one. No? I will not say it with you. Okay, so let me play the voice notes.
Hello, good morning for me. Good morning, Mr. DM. Good morning, everyone listening right now. God bless us all for what we do for humanity, and God bless the Women Radio Station for also bringing news review to us, the audience, the listening ears of the audience, and even the analysts and analysts. And DM, first of all, let me start by saying thank you for your analysis this morning. I agree with a couple of them, but I differ with a couple of them as well. I would always wonder why any little thing you are quick to mention ex-president Obasanjo. I've never heard on Women Radio. You just mentioned to say what he did in the past, the dividends of democracy. It is our right. I agree. But this present government, the dividend of democracy that they churn out is roads and bags of rice, always rising to the occasion like we know them. So the past is an anomaly, a lacuna. Should the present also continue in that trajectory? I think the answer is no. Mr. DM, you say you don't want us to be biased. You too, I know you are not biased, but let's speak truth to power. You say they are doing roads. I have to be alive to apply those roads. They are doing roads. I have to be alive to assess those roads. Nelfont and the rest of them. I am saying we can drive and chew gum. We can walk and chew gum. And so if you're fixing roads, who is assigned to fix the other places that are supposed to let Nigerians, the poor, the common man breathe? That's my question that I'm positing this morning. We can walk and chew gum. We can drive and chew gum, like I said earlier on. But I'm saying, in fact, like you rightly cited, if I am hungry, if I am being taxed, if I am being chased from walking on the road, and there are no structures to make me live like a Nigerian, not as a slave, but as a freeborn in my country, I beg you, then the government has not done enough. Don't give me rice. Don't give me yam. Give me a thrivable environment, an enabling environment, and watch me board and drag. Yesterday I went out around TBS. A guy that was working on drinks carried him, this guy boss, threw him into their Black Maria or whatever. You know this guy that wear lemon uniform. The guy was just begging. If you are chasing away hawkers, what have you put on ground to alleviate their pain? What structures do we have on ground? You chase hawkers, you chase off street traders, you tell us to go and do akara and everything. What exactly have you put on ground to put this structure before you start implementing them? Ironically, this language, Ebing Bawa, is a versatile language that Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba are speaking presently. Please, if the president is listening, I don't want people to come and praise him when he knows he has so much to do. Let him add to what he's doing. Road no go feed us. Road no go shield us. Road no go take away insecurity. Road no go take away poverty. Road no go take away many things. Road will just be road. Because they are naming it after themselves and their names and their families. That's not what I need alone now. I need road. Good. But I also need a viable environment to be able to access that road, to be able to live not as a slave, but as a freeborn. So when we talk, let's balance things in a state of equilibrium. Hope you got what I just said. Good morning, sir. Thanks for all you do. For me, good morning. And good morning to Nima and all the listening audience this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Obovi. In 1 minute,
Hello, good morning,
would you like
Mr. DM. Good morning, everyone listening right now. God bless us all for what we do for humanity. And God bless the Women Radio Station for also bringing news review to us, the audience, the listening ears of the audience, and even the analysts that are analyzing. Mr. DM, first let me start by saying thank you for your analysis this morning.
No, you're playing it again.
Of them as well.
Okay. In 1 minute, Ademi, please respond as we go.
Yeah, let me speak on what Mrs. Oboli said. If you will not forget, I said that policies is what the government can put in place to create an enabling environment where you and I can thrive in our businesses, in what we do. So as it is, and I also talk about the road. You see, when I said road brings development, whether we like it or not. If we produce anything and there is no access road through which this thing can be transported, then the consumer will not get it. The market we are going will not be able to reach it. Well, I'm not saying that the government has been totally up and doing every area. I said yes. I said they need to do more because, like I said times are hard. People are hungry. Don't forget that's what I made a case of a woman who through Agbala Gabriel. Oh, so it's important. I'm not saying that President Tinubu has got it all, but I'm only saying that look, in as much as okay, we want him to do more. The ones he has done, let's commend. Let's say it. We should stop giving false information that he has not done anything. Like somebody will say, he hasn't done anything at all. That there's no student loan, that nobody's benefiting from it. No, these are the facts that I want us to always get straight. That look, if he's doing something, let's say he's doing it. God will help us. There's no way, if every other government that has come to be has been working the way this man is presently working, I think by now, where we are is not where we ought to be. We will have gone ahead and we'll be thinking of something else. Maybe by now, Nigeria will be thinking of going to this space. Maybe that will have been our next agenda. But because of the corrupt nature of the people that has ever ruled this nation, and the so-called civil society, I'm going to repeat it. These are the major problems that we have. And, you know, I used to say it when Daniel was here that our major problem, corruption per se. You know why? Because ethnicity and religion is our problem. That is the bane of our problem. On that premise, that's where everything, you know, begin to emanate. That's where everything stands. That's where everything spreads. Because why? Those who are corrupt, they belong to one ethnicity or the other. Those who are corrupt, they belong to one religion or the other.
All right. Unfortunately, we have run so much out of time today. Thank you so much, Ademi, for coming. See you next week in another edition of the Daily News Review. 9 o'clock is the news, 9 to 5 is her lens. Do have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Your station, your story. Have you been a victim? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537.
I beg, make una help me, oh. All this contraceptive one thing. Which one they work safe?
Yes, and implants be the surest though. My neighbor saying in wife get cousin, we get friend, where they use birth control pill. Now correct.
I see online say injection are the real deal.
You know they work.
They work. Not be waiting them say be that.
When them say full everywhere, you fit miss road oh. For your sexual health, no follow Jesus.